1,000 battles a day.
Oh, fuck, it's on.
Really?
Yeah, it's full on. Yeah, it's.
So I don't even want to know what goes on inside your brain, man.
Yeah, like I've got each situation. Like I have a situation every day where if I start entertaining that situation, I'm either gonna end up back in jail, or I'll use on it, man. I'll use drugs on it. So yeah, it's interesting, man. Yeah.
Freaking what I will. Slap these headphones on for me, bro.
Yeah, so bro.
That's yours as well.
Well, these just headphones.
Yeah.
Oh, what,
TV.
Mickey?
Yeah.
That's the girls.
But yeah, it's that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, so you're like an ocean.
Yep.
Different kind of waves.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Yeah. I couldn't. Yeah, if you explain it like that, I like that. Yeah.
You don't
tides
know.
in, the tides out. Yeah, unpredictable.
Sometimes you're drowning, sometimes you're not drowning.
Very, very much so, like, man. Yeah, very unpredictable. But if I don't wake up and do a drill, I'm in some strife. That's the truth. Like if I don't wake up, do my prayer, and do a little bit of meditation, and then kind of that theme is doing the right thing when no one's watching. That's massive to me. Doing something good.
That's so powerful, bro.
Yeah, that's the stuff I have to do.
Do you imagine yourself like God's watching you?
No, I do today. Yeah, I definitely do today.
Wow.
Yeah. I am a believer, and I do today. And I know that he's been watching for a long, long time. And I know it, like, I'll be honest with you, this one day I used to pray for patience. Wow. And I prayed for patience and then, mate, the last couple of weeks, mate, what happened with these patients is, mate, my days looked fucking horrible. Like I'm talking about, mate, there was that much obstacles in my life. And I turned around to a really good friend of mine that I call my sponsor, and I said to him, mate, I'm praying for patience, mate, and I'm telling you, something's going on. And he turned around and said, mate, that's why. You've asked for patience, so he's putting all these obstacles in your way to practice for patience. It was the last time I prayed for patience, you know what I mean?
You're like, I don't want to have patience.
Brother. But, mate, that's where it's at, you know what I mean? If I am a believer, God is watching, somebody's watching, my higher power's watching, that's for sure.
So would you say your belief in God has been increasing recently?
Definitely much so, man. I grew up in a family that didn't really believe so much so, I grew up in a alcoholic family, you know what I mean? Like my dad was an alcoholic, 100%. And my uncles were all drug addicts and alcoholics. And I grew up in an area where that was okay. It was the Australian way to do that, And God was very, very far away. I mean, like I went to public schools and stuff like that, and yeah, in my eyes, that old, priests, like pedophiles, that's how I looked. And I lost some really close family members and I lost some really close friends. And if there was a God, why didn't they give my family money? That kind of, you know what I mean?
Deep
like,
questions.
That's right. Like, why did it kill my friend this and why did it kill my uncle and why did God do this? I blamed him for do you know what I mean? And
how was that experience with like your father being an alcoholic and stuff? How was that an impact on you, bro?
I just didn't really think much about that because that was the thing. I mean, all my uncles were. I thought that was the go, but he was a good dad too. Don't get me wrong. But he, it was more the fact of it was just the normal. I knew he took drugs, but never in front of me. You know what I mean?
In secrecy.
So yeah. Like I knew he was always on it, but it was never done in front of me. The drugs, definitely no. The dealing the drugs, and I was allowed to deal drugs, but I wasn't allowed to take them.
Wow.
Yeah, for a long time.
Freaking, that's a strange way.
It is, mate. Yeah, even in 7, year 8 and stuff, I dropped out in year 8 anyway.
Which high school did you go to?
I went to Leyland North. I was out there. I got kicked out and then straight into construction, but into the concrete side of things, but I was, back then I was, selling joints and stuff like that, and that was okay, because I was boxing. You know what I mean? That was
boxing from a young age.
Young age, mate. My first fight at 13.
Wow.
Okay, so I grew up with glasses, getting bullied. Like in the area too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
a lot of bullying would have been happening there.
You either had red hair, glasses, either a fat kid. You know what I mean? We were in them little sector, so I fucking learned how to fight very quickly. And boxing taught me that. But also boxing taught me how to muck around with some men, and I was a boy in a man's world, sparring men, rubbing shoulders with men. And but it also give me validation in the, I wasn't about bullying. I was like, I come the boxer of the area, right? So now you're stopping the bullying, So I was seeking validation from that, and that was great.
Sports is very important. I've told this to many people. I do boxing myself. It's if you use it properly, it navigates you through life.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If you use it wrong, you end up in jail.
You do, man. You do, and you can relate to this. Being yourself, like that's right. Boxing kept me off the yes, I was on the streets, but it taught me a moral code on the streets. With this bullying stuff, doing the right thing. But it also drawed a lot of backslappers, okay?
Wow.
The bikies, the gangsters at a young age, collecting debts for them, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing. How good's this,
Yeah.
I'm getting to rub shoulders with these, people we all look up at, and they want me to, you know what I mean? Because we knew how to hold them quite well. So it was a bit of a mugs game as well, Wow. But you're right, man. Boxing can be a beautiful thing if you navigate it right.
How are you now? You at peace?
Mate, I am at peace today. But like I said before to you, if I don't do the right thing on the daily, I'm in some strife, man. If I don't get up and do the drill,
What's your day-to-day drill? How does it look like your mornings?
So I'll wake up and I will get up and I'll straight prayer. I'll go into the other room and I'll pray and and I'll prayer and then I'll do a little bit of meditation and then I'll kind of get up, take the little one to school and the rest of it. And then I'm doing this recovery stuff now. So, I've got some things in place. But on the way to them things, I've got to drive through certain areas where I used to use a lot of gear. I live in Preston, right in the Northland. So I'm in the hood. I'm definitely in the hood still. And I'm bumping people, right? I'm bumping people I've done jail with. I'm bumping people I've done crime with. I've done using with. So I've got to be very vigilant. On the daily.
So the devil's constantly at war with you.
Yeah, the blackbird's always on my shoulder, mate,
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely on my shoulder, on the daily. Like if I start resenting, mate, chances are, well, I'm running rough, mate. I'm not doing something right, I'm not because you get complacent, right? I don't need to pray today. Don't need to do meditation today. You know what I mean?
And he starts adding up very quickly.
Fucking very, mate. I'll run rough, man. If I don't do my inventory, if I don't on the daily sit down after my day and do a prayer at night, and only a very short prayer. If I don't kind of think, all right, who do I resent today? Who do I need to make amends to today? You know what I mean? Was I a bit rude there? Was I a bit short there? I'm fucking telling you now, mate. See, them kind of things will keep me sick and I'll end up using...
Very important. And I love how you said that. Did I do the right thing? Did I speak to him properly? All
Spot
these
on.
little stuff, they add up, man.
The 1%ers add up every day for myself. I have to stack them up.
Because that's what creates an aura and it creates you with a better character.
It does, yes, yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right, exactly.
Little things.
It is the little things. It never used to be for me. Man, I used to get up and I used to pray for women and I used to pray for cars and I used to pray for money. And God give me them things, trust me. Like they weren't good. They led me to jails, to rehabs, to homeless, to living out of my car, to being in certain bikie clubs and stuff like that.
What does money mean to you now?
Oh, it doesn't mean much to me now, mate. I've been poor. I started poor. Then I've had some money. Now I'm just okay. I'm okay with today.
Do you feel like
God will give me money when He's ready to give me money?
Yeah.
You get me? And I'll be honest, my brother, and if I've got some money, mate, that might not be good, dangerous for myself, brother. I'm a mad gambler. I love gambling. I've got women addictions and I've got drug addictions. Who's to say giving me some money is going to be any good? God will be the judge today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got to be very, very careful on this money stuff, mate.
So you're very critical of everything.
I've got to be, bro. Yeah, I really do. Yeah, everything's a slippery slope, You got to be.
Where was your journey where you started to feel power?
As in recovery?
Before recovery.
Mate, see.
Because you went down the route of like crime and that world.
I really did. Yeah. So I did. Great question. I started feeling power at 13, 14 when I was boxing, okay? Because I was the boxer of the area.
See how you can play the both roles?
Mate, very validating.
Yeah.
So I grew up with glasses getting bullied. Next minute, I'm the boxer of the area. Validating? Yes. Then you look at, all right, let's fast forward it. I had some injuries, broke my nose to, I was leading up to the Commonwealth Games when it was in Australia.
You made it to top ranks, bro.
I went all right, yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'd done that and I was no good at football or cricket. I was hopeless. I was scared of the ball. But boxing, I'd done okay at it. I'm not too sure, but it was a selfish sport, man. I'm not too sure why, I don't know why. But so what that looked like, so fast forward a bit, I broke my nose leading up to the Commonwealth Games. Women started to, I was involved with women and, that bit of a validation of fame. And then you're talking about underage nightclubs, right? So then that come validating, So I was, dropping ecstasies and speed and stuff like that, to keep me up because that fame of the boxers keeps you up there, as you know. When you win in fights, bruv, you're fucking, man, this is great.
Yeah, you're on the rush.
Oh, man. So when that kind of goes to an injury or the bloke's pulled out of your fight and, be training and you've been, starving and that, and then you crash very, very quickly. So the drugs kept validating me for a long time.
What kind of
after
drugs?
that.
What type?
So I started on my first actually signs of addiction was chromium. I was sniffing paint. That was it was. And that was, I was in year 7 then. And I remember I used to line up the paint can. And I never used just to think, this is an addiction, but this is the kind of kid I was. So I used to line up all the colours in my garage, I used to actually even from dark to light, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So I used to have a little crack. Me and the boys had this little shed, in Laylaw. And we used to go there and we used to make their chrome, go to school, okay? And then I just could not wait to get back to that shed and have a chrome, And,
how's the high of it?
It was like a 15-minute high or 10-minute high, just sniffing glue. But I never used to, like I said, a certain little gang I was in, that was the go. That's what we used to do, right? And but the thought of getting back to that shed after school, nerves, excitement, aroused,
That's where the addiction begins.
I never knew, but it did.
Wow.
And then obviously, fast forward that. Then I was boxing, so none of that really counted. But I was getting the validation in the ring. I was always seeking validation from somewhere. Fast forward from that, when the boxing kind of career and kind of started to fizzle out, due to some injuries and stuff in my nose. And then I was 17, and that's when crime and nightclubs and girls and fast cash started to come. 17, 18, 19, and then it went, escalated.
Were you just going out a lot?
It's going out a lot, and obviously, wrong crowds because of the boxing, I had some not bad size on me. I was heavily tattooed even young. Wow. So, attracted to that. But that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a gangster. I wanted to be like my old man. That was the truth.
Wow.
Now my dad wants to be like me. It's unreal.
Why do you feel like we fall in love with that identity, that gangster look?
Look, man, they get the women. Why not? Like honestly, I sit there because I'm trying to tap into the youth today, and I sit back and go, why wouldn't you want to? But think about it. I know why not, but why wouldn't you? They're getting the mercs, the bum bags, the women, the gold teeth, everyone's scared of them. Hey, wants to know them. Everyone's, mate, it's fucking. We're watching movies on TV. How cool's this? You know what I mean? All the old school gangster shows. Mate, I watched movies and I wanted the bad guy to win, never the good guy. So, you know what I mean? So
it's like an infection.
It is, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, yeah. They never tell you the bad bit in the movie, mate. Do they?
They show you the glory of it, but it always ends in destruction.
Yeah. That's right.
Either your mind goes, your insanity, you just lose it. Friends turn on each other.
Yeah.
No loyalty.
No loyalty at all, and
in that game there is no loyalty.
Mate, not at all. So the power sort of things, back to where power. So, I always seek that validation for that power. Fast forward a bit, got a little bit of age, and obviously joined some motorcycle clubs.
What led you to that? Was it just meeting more people that kind of...
Mate, back in that time, in my area, everyone was either part of some kind of club.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the thing to do. I mean, why not,
How old are you here? 20s?
I was in my, I was about, in my 20s. Yep.
Very young.
In my 20s, yep. And then that didn't end until a couple months ago, mate.
Wow.
I left all that behind me. Not on the wrong reasons as well. You know, I
Just decided,
mate, I was in recovery as well, as I was an active motorcycle member, and it was okay. This certain, you know, all my brothers down there were grouse, man.
Supportive of it.
Set boundaries, mate. They were beautiful, man. You know what I mean? They knew that drugs and alcohol were my poison, and they really set some strong boundaries. Got to be grateful for that today. You know, that's
powerful.
That was very, very brotherhood powerful. So I owe them to that. But I wanted to do more than just stay sober and clean. I wanted to work in the program. I wanted to help out. I wanted to give back. And to our youth today, how am I supposed to be telling a young fella? I can tell him not to use drugs and alcohol because I'm not doing it. How am I supposed to say don't join a gang when I'm an active member?
Yeah.
So that's where that separated that. And
that's a very good way of thinking of it, man.
I got to walk the walk today. It's what, you know, my video's got to match my audio. My audio's got to match my video today.
Yeah.
And as much as the club was not holding me back, not one bit, you know, they were actually very, very supportive. But how am I supposed to talk to some potential, you know, youth that are going down the track? Don't join a gang when I'm an active member. I think that's a bit of a putrid behaviours. So I set my boundaries and just went our separate ways, and everyone was a winner, man. Everyone was very happy. You know?
It's very interesting when you find supportive people like that, bro. Very
rare,
powerful.
Yes, very rare. You know, very, very rare.
Because normally that always ends in a conflict.
You know? Yeah, it does. Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Troy was talking about that, and he was saying when he left, how they were still supportive and checking up on him. So I feel like the world, the media portrays them to be super evil. But there is some good in there.
Oh, mate.
Some beautiful people in there, man. Like,
there's more good than bad. And it's just like, you go to a football club, mate, and you go to your local football club right now, and there's probably more criminal, you know,
activity
you know, not to say there is, but I mean, there's bad in everything, you know.
That's
it's
right.
It's how you look at it. If you're going to look at it at a bad set of eyes, you're going to see bad. If you're going to look at, you know, with a clear set of lenses, mate, you know, yeah.
How was the experience with the drug addiction, man?
Drug addiction, I was a slave, brother. I was, even when I wasn't in jail, I was in jail, okay? I was not... My days, towards the end of my usage, my days look like when I did go to sleep, I would wake up after God knows how long, and I would reach over for that pipe. My anxiety would be through the roof if I had less than 2 grams, you know.
Oh my God.
And that was, because I was on about 3.5 grams a day of ice, you know, injecting.
And ice is an upper, so you're just flying.
Flying away, mate, yeah, just getting through life and, you know, living out of my car at some stage, you know, and no family in my life, no kids in my life, mate. Yeah, today different, of course, you know.
And it's very easy. People don't realise how easy it is to actually get hooked on to these drugs.
It's validating, you know. It is, yeah. It's making you feel things, you know, like, yeah, you know, if you're that kid at school that's a little bit nervous, or that girl at school that's a little bit, you know, overweight, or the guy at school that, you know, the confidence in a bottle, it's confidence in a bag, man. You know, as soon as you have that, you're okay. But then it works the opposite way. So when the world's going to end and you're just fucking done, and you've got debts and your bosses doing your head in, and you've done an injury on the football field, or, you know, all sorts of just life stuff, the drugs and alcohol make it all go away. Just puts a Band-Aid on it. It just numbs you, you know.
That's what it is. And then you wake up the next day.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
And you got to numb the pain again. And all of a sudden you're in a bloody cycle.
Spot on, mate. Yeah.
And you're addicted, and you're really addicted.
You're powerless over it.
Yeah.
I was powerless over it. So I would wake up, I would go get through a bag, and I'd say to myself, all right, this is, when I get through this bag, that's it. But on autopilot, I would be, you know, chasing and getting more, you know, powerless. So I remember driving through, I'm not going to drink today. And then autopilot, and then grabbing for the bottle shop, and then thinking, what have I just done? You know what I mean? That is powerless.
Yeah.
You know, powerless over the shit. Yeah.
And that addiction is a monster.
Oh, mate, it is. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, even today, you know, I'm in here with yourself, and it's out there doing push-ups, you know. It's getting strong.
Wow.
My addiction's out there getting strong. It's already stronger than me, you know, but it's out there. You know, if I don't do vigilant, you know, and mate, I'll leave here and use. That's the truth. If I don't get honest with myself and say
It's
I
very
am an
powerful,
addict,
bro.
yeah, you know,
Makes me. It really gives me goosebumps because it's you're in a constant war, man. You know, I've never experienced it. I've never gone down that route of drugs. So when I hear it and I understand how dangerous that world is, it really gets me thinking like, whoa, man, like this is serious. Like you're driving and your mind could switch off.
Yeah, it does. It really does, yeah. Especially early recovery, you know. I'm about 18 months now, you know, and but early recovery, man. Yeah, man. I sometimes had to turn around and go get my head on pillow, bro. Because I knew if I kept kind of going on with the day, I probably would have picked up. So went home, got my head on pillow, called some good people. And that's the hardest thing, right? So, you know, I've been in addiction for, 20-something, you know, so I had really, really hectic addiction for, say, 16 years, 15 years. Wow. If I've cut that cord of addiction, now who have I got around me? You know what I mean? So, like, you really got to feather your nest. Just like if you go into a boxing fight, the corner's got to be tight, brother. You got to have a good, good trainer, good coach. You have to, bro. Otherwise, I hope you got right.
You rock up there and you're looking around, there's no one there. You feel vulnerable.
You're on. Yeah, exactly.
How was the experience in the early stages of recovery?
Yeah, man. So I'll be honest. So what happened with me? So I obviously had a fork in the road moment happen, you know, and I got vulnerable. Enough was enough. People didn't believe it, all the rest of it. But early recovery for me, so I went to a Sydney rehab. Okay, I went and got well over in Sydney. Reason being, I could not trust myself to get So the reason why I went and got well was because that was the only thing I didn't do. Okay, I've done everything, and I always heard that word rehab, and I thought, mate, stick your rehab up your ass, you know, stick your rehab shit up your ass. And then I was sitting there, and obviously this day I was tired of being tired, and thought, okay, let's try this rehab stuff. So I got myself clean. I detoxed on my own because I could stop, but I couldn't stay stopped. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could get a week up, 2 weeks up, and then reward myself, you know. Early recovery like me, so I got back from Sydney and I was up people's places and things, right? So they teach you that, you know, you got to avoid people's places and things. My biggest argument was, hang on, I'm going back to the northern suburbs.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the hood, mate.
Yeah.
You know, where I've done all my crime, all my usage, everyone I know. I have to. I couldn't just move away to a white picket fence, brother. I just couldn't do that. So I'm going back to people, places and things. So I had to come here and I have to get river vigilant, you know, and what it looked like for me, I just survived, man. You know, they say just get through the day. I was just getting through the hour. So, you know, if you only can get in, I say to you, you know, don't use drugs or alcohol just for today. It's quite easy, you know, if you... Because the thought of never using drugs and alcohol for 10 years scares the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So some days I just had to get through that hour. That was early recovery for me.
Right, that would have been a war zone.
You know, I'd the way I went places, I would avoid going through the Northlands car park because I used to do a lot of my usage there. But some days, I used to drive through there. But my day... After I drove through them triggering places, today it's okay. My day would just go, mate, surely I can just have one. You know, I'm 30 days clean. I'm 60 days clean. Surely just one. True?
Yeah.
Just one, man.
That's how it is. Yeah.
But even today, you know, I've got a wedding coming up, man, and not mine, a friend of mine's, and I thought, surely I can just have a cheeky vodka.
Yeah.
You know, why not? True? But mate,
that's how it kicks off.
I'm allergic to it, brother. I'm allergic to drugs and alcohol. And I don't mean I break out in rashes or get a closed throat. I mean I'm back in jail, I lose my kids, and I'm back homeless. I'm allergic to it. You know? So
how was the journey of homelessness?
Mate,
how did it lead to that point, man?
So how it lead to that, my man, was so everyone was obviously just sick of, you know, sick of me promising, I'm sorry, please. They didn't understand the addiction side of things, and, you know, just all sorts of stuff. Because lying, cheating, stealing, that's the kind of addict I was, you know.
Because when you're on, especially on ice or any of that drugs, you do anything to get money.
You do,
rob
mate.
from fairly.
You do. And look, that wasn't my journey. That not yet. It was the not yets. Okay.
Wow.
It was the not yets. It wasn't my journey that. Okay. I would go rob others. Yes, I would. You know, but not yet. Okay. Don't know what was around the corner for me. You know, maybe I would have. But that's why I always used to resent my family, because my dad was an addict. All my uncles were addicts, and my mum was turning on me. So me, I was like, mate, hang on. Dad was a jailhead drug addict. My uncles were all doing bizzo and drug addicts. All the nephews were. You want to kick me to the curb?
Well, maybe I'm being judged.
Mate, you know what I mean? Like, monkey see, monkey do, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mate, come on. So it was just the rules were, you're on the gear, mate. You don't come home. You don't live here. And honestly, man, my life was just I lived out of a stripy bag, bro, because I was rarely sleeping. I was always out, you know, doing criminal activity things and living out of the clubhouse back to, you know, just that was my life for a while there, mate. That was the last probably 2 years of my life. Last 2 years of my usage. Yeah,
Wow.
my active addiction was that, mate. Yeah.
Mental health would have been poor.
It was, mate. Yeah, definitely was. It was, man. It was. I just give up, man. Like,
Take me back to that time when you went homeless, and what was going through your mind back then, bro? On a day, like, what would go through your mind?
Only thing that went through my mind, mate, is not my kids, not how am I gonna get a roof over my head. The only thing that went through my mind is what's the next earn, what's the next so I can gamble and use drugs, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know, if that's the answer, what was the question? You know, like, that's how my life was.
And drugs, when you're on the drugs, is that it only allows you to think like that? Yeah, it doesn't allow you to think.
Well, yeah, you're powerless over it, and then as soon as I get my drugs, everything was okay, right? So I wasn't thinking of my two beautiful kids. I wasn't thinking of my, you know, my beautiful family. I wasn't thinking about getting ahead. I wasn't thinking about some really good friends I had, even my club. You know, mate, I started to cut them off as well, you know, because I was embarrassed, shameful, you know. I was lying that I was using drugs. To them, they all knew I was using drugs, but not like I was, you know, because I would come in with a smile, you know. I'd smile, I got the bluff, man. I got the silver tongue, you know, so I could come in and, you know, and just bluff the shit out all my life. I always had that gift, you know, like, mate, Jolie, he's doing really well. Bullshit, mate, I wasn't doing well, mate.
It was a war zone.
It was a war zone, brother. Yeah.
Would you say ice was the hardest?
Yeah, mate, I've tried every drug. I've tried every drug. I've nearly done it. Yeah, I've tried every drug. And ice was what the
hardest.
Yeah, ice is what grabbed me, mate. The speed early doors, of course, and then the ice later on. You know, I just enjoyed what it done to my, you know, made me feel. You know, it suppressed all my feelings. It made everything go away.
What would you tell some people that are battling that addiction now?
What I do tell people in that are battling that addiction now is, obviously, I'm living proof of there is another way. And you got to get honest. You got to have an open mind, and you got to be willing. You got to be willing. You know. I work a lot with some recovering and active drug addicts today, and you've got to be ready.
Does it get heavy, bro, some days?
Mate, it does. It really does. I'll be honest with you, as much as I'm helping people, I'm helping myself, you know, because, yeah, I am, mate. I am because by me helping others, it's making me realise, fuck, mate, it was really fuck. Because some days I'm a very fast forgetter, right, man. Like, so, you know, like, I can really forget how bad it was on the other side. Like, I mean, really forget and think, well, it's, you know, like, why not? You know, just have one, or it wasn't that bad, was it? Working with these people that are heavily in addiction, as much as, yes, I'm giving service back and helping them, but they're helping me too. You know? They're making me realise, fuck me dead, man. It was bad, wasn't it? You know, and mate, you got to be sincere and kind, but you got to. They're supporting and enabling, and it's a very fine line, and a lot of people flirt with it. Okay?
That's a very interesting way of saying it. Yeah,
a lot of people flirt with it.
enabling.
I got enabled for a long, long time with family, my partners supporting me, mate. I knew what I was doing. I was just telling them what they wanted to hear, and I was, we're manipulative, right? Kept me in my addiction a long time. But then the day come when, bang, everyone cut me off. And it took me 2 years, I suppose, to finally find the light. But I did, and we're here today, So I'm definitely living proof of there is the other side, There definitely is the other side. No, it's not easy, and no, we're never cured, but we are recovering.
Do you feel like a bit of the past carries on with you till now?
The crime stuff, I'm in a program, an honest program, where there's talks about giving amends, forgiveness, resentments, self-inventory. Yeah, the past pops up. Good and bad. I can get a little bit anxious sometimes when different areas and different crowds think that, is there any enemies? Of course, and then it goes back to this, why do I deserve this okay life that I've got today? Because I've done a lot of bad things by my brother, and why do I deserve a second chance? You know what I'm trying to say? I robbed, I stole, I hurt, I cheated, I lied. Now I'm sober and clean, and my life's okay. You know what I mean? Just okay. And my kids are back in my life today. Everyone's back in my life, and why do I deserve this? So, I've got anxiety.
That's a deep question, man.
Yeah.
And you've gone for it, and you've got that second chance, and now you start to question yourself, why do I deserve this?
Why? That's right. Surely karma's coming around the corner. This is the stuff that runs through my head, my brother, today, in addiction, I didn't care if I died or not. Today, mate, I'm okay. I love what I've got today. I'm very, so scared to death today a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I think my kids. I don't.
What do they mean to you, man? Children.
Mate, my kids are today. They're everything to me. They really, really are.
The world,
The world. I'm with the little girl's mum, and I lost privileges of being with my firstborn child, so I only get him on this every second weekend. Due to my drug use and my, neglection and my stuff like that. I've got to cop that on the chin. And see, that's talking about past. That sinks me down sometimes, man, because I've got to sometimes emotionally detach myself from my firstborn boy.
Wow. You've got to learn to accept that.
Mate, I just, I've got to accept it. I am only a father to him every second week, and on FaceTime and on his terms. You know what I mean? He's 5 years old. But yeah, we've got a great little relationship, and so do me and the mum. But as you can imagine, it's not as good as my little girl, because I'm with her every day. But that's something I've got to cop my right whack for that, man. I mean, that was...
Every consequence we have in life, every decision has a consequence.
Spot on, mate. Yeah, that's exactly right. Every single decision, has
every
a consequence.
decision.
And you don't see that, let's be honest.
Yeah. It's a journey, and, children can uplift you. People don't realise this.
Yeah, mate, yeah. Like, I'm rich with my children's love today. I don't need the money, Of course you'd like it. But like I said before, someone gives me money today, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know where that's going to end up. I'll get that stuff when I'm ready. What I've got now is being present for my kids. And that's like, I used to buy them stuff and think I was present, and but now I'm actually present. I get to sit down and my little girl pretend she's playing. She's 2 years old, and she's playing hairdressers with me. But there's no fucking way I would have done that. I was like, nah, that's the mother's job. Shit like that. Like my ego was out of the fucking. It was unreal.
I get this feeling from you. You're very grateful. I keep everything you say. You feel like you're very grateful for everything you have in your life. And that's a blessing on its own.
Yeah, it's a gift, yeah.
It's a gift, just being grateful for the little stuff that you have.
Yeah, and that's what this spiritual program offers me today. I do. I live a spiritual program. It's them little things that really count for me. you just, when you're in addiction, man, you just take everything.
Don't care because everything's just...
You just don't realise, mate, you know. You don't, you know, you don't realise how you know, how life's okay.
Talk to a lot of people that I know, some of my friends that are, you know, stuck smoking marijuana, and they're stuck, man. They don't realise the long term because you start smoking alone, and then when you're smoking alone, the thoughts, the darkness. Now you're like, I don't like anybody. Nobody likes me. Nobody checks on me.
Yeah.
And then you isolate, and then that's no longer a high. And then you're seeking other highs.
Yeah, validations as
well. And then the women, and then the drugs. And
yes. Seeking validation, man. Well, look, we're men. We do, you know, no matter, even today, I'll seek validation so whatever it looks like, of course we are, you know, hopefully in a good way, you know, but you're always seeking validation. That's the truth, you know, no matter what it looks like, you know, getting my story out there, you know, you know, that's what I want to do, but I'm still seeking validation. That's the truth. You know, I've got to be honest with this stuff, you know what I mean? Even putting myself out there. Yes, I do love the pats on the back, you know what I mean? 100% I do, but I've got to really be careful with that stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? My ego will take control. Here I am thinking I know everything, you know, and then, mate, I don't. I know fuck all, you know. I know absolutely fuck all.
Do you feel like you've at a point where you have some sort of control over your ego? Because ego's a big one.
Ego's massive. Ego's false. Ego is massive, and but now my ego can creep in, and then like I said that night, I'll do my self inventory. Oh, mate, you went wrong there. You know, do I need to ring that person and say sorry? And that's what I'll do.
Wow.
I have to, brother. You know what I mean? I have to. If I don't, I'll do it again tomorrow. And then I'll do it again, and then I'll end up doing it, and that's me, and then I'll use.
Because the ego is an enemy, a really dangerous enemy.
Yeah.
You know, it can be so quick. You can be on the lights, someone swears at you, puts the finger up. What do you say to yourself? Do you put your head down, just drive and ignore it? Yeah. Or do you turn on him? All of a sudden it turns into a fight. You smack him off a pole and now you killed him.
That's right. Yeah.
And now you're in jail for 15, 20 years. Just like that.
That's right. It's fucking mad. It's really, really funny you say that. I just done a little mini a bit of content on it the day before yesterday. And
I think I've seen it.
Yeah. Mate, I was driving on the freeway and I was driving on the freeway and someone was tailgating me, okay? And I was just, you know, and then I kind of did and then whatever. And in my head, mate, like my ego, my missus was in the car, you know, my ego, like I'm thinking to myself, no, mate, I wanted to chase him down. I wanted to pull him out of the car, have a bit of fun with him slowly, you know what I mean? All this stuff went through my sick head. And then I thought to myself, hang on a second, what's really going on in that fella's house? How do you know he's not on his way to rush home with his sick kids? One.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know, who's to say he's not arguing with his... Oh, I know, because I've been there. I've been there arguing with toxic relationships, zooming around, whatever. How do you know he's not on his way? The poor person is on his way to his drug dealer's house, you know, like, and I thought, mate, you know, it's not my journey, that's his, you know.
Don't so know I was what's able going on in his world.
I just don't, mate. Yeah, so here I am going to abuse this, that. What to do? Validate. Oh, yes, see, I told him. Mate, who cares? You got to turn your right cheek, brother. I've got to turn my right cheek these days. You know what I mean? Very hard, but I do it.
That's a war on its own.
It is, because mate. It is.
You spend your whole life with crude, strong power.
Yeah, spot on. Hitting first.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, you've gone back and you're like, I want to be humble.
Yeah, that's right. Fighting violence with violence. That's all I knew. That's all I knew as a kid. That's what got instilled in me. That was it. Today, I've got to check myself because I'll end up back in jail tomorrow. Sober, clean. Imagine that. You know? Wow.
What led you into jail, man?
Jail stuff, just everything, you know.
Just everything caught up?
Just everything caught up. Yeah, some violent stuff, some thefts, some drugs, just all sorts of stuff, mate. Yeah. To be
How long did you serve in there for?
I'd done a little bit here and there, just in and out, you know. Yeah, I was a serial repeat for a friend of mate, to be honest. I've seen the courtrooms a couple of times a year or once a year at least. Big charges, small charges. They were rolling, mate.
Prison, man, is I hope the people that are in there that are coming out, I hope they change their life and understand. But for the people that are outside, stay away from jails.
Yeah.
Don't commit crimes, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah, see, I used to think to myself, go in jail, get myself clean. But see, the thing is unfortunately, and this is not ragging shit on the government because, you know, whatever, or the jail system, but Jail is not a rehab. It doesn't rehabilitate you at all. It doesn't even offer you that support. Okay, even if you wanted it, it's not there. And then you get released, with a bag and the shoes you come in with, and some don't have families. So here you are catching a bus or a train to the dial office to get on the dial. The odds are that you're going to bump someone that right at the station
Suck you in very
and
quickly.
guess what, mate? You're back on the earn and you're back on the gear. You're
What
back in
do you
jail.
feel like they can change?
Mate,
if you get
prevention's
released?
everything. Prevention is I'm all about prevention. So my look today is about prevention. So instead of worrying about waiting until they drop the ball when the wheels fall off with this jail stuff, how about we prevent? How about we build programs to prevent? And it all comes with lived experience. So people like myself and others that want to help out, you target the young fellas, the schools, and let them know about share your experience on it. Even if they're not going down the wrong track, doesn't matter. Shine awareness on your journey. You can't lecture, right? No one wants to hear it if you're lecturing.
Doesn't work. I've tried it. It doesn't work, mate. Man. It doesn't freaking work.
But if you were to shine some light on your experiences and how it went for you, what didn't work for you, what worked for you, that's okay. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'll hear that. I don't want to be told what to do. Still today, I'm hard,
Wow.
Even as a kid, mates. As soon as you start telling me, I'm off, see you later. But if somebody's going to share about their experience on what worked for them and what didn't work for them, I'm all ears, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's very true. I've tried it for a long time. Some of my mates, don't do drugs. Doesn't work, man.
Yeah, that's right.
It goes in one ear, it comes out the other.
Yes.
How would you approach some of the youngsters?
How I would approach them, mate, straight away, obviously, being my look. So already they're going to be interested.
Yeah.
They are, man. And that's the truth, So I've got to use this tool now.
Do you feel like they look up to you in
mate, they do. And even if I'm on the streets, I'm speaking their lingo too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've already drilled them in with that stuff. And that's what it is. And I'll be honest with you, and I'll say it out on camera now. I'm very guilty myself of being in a position I was and grooming young potential criminals for myself, and that's the truth. And I hate myself for that today. I really do, and it really annoys me that I've done that. And so I need to give back. And my advice, obviously I'm walked in and they're relating to me, by the look at me. So I've got to use my tool for that. Speak their lingo, reel them in. But mate, just to share my experience on that, say I was that, and I wanted what you wanted, and I get that, you got a family that's broken at home or, all that kind of stuff. And it's cool to be the tough kid or the kid with the extra cash in your pocket and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's, this conversation we're having today, in 12 months, it's going to be different. I'll probably be looking for you through a bit of glass. Okay, or over a jail phone, and that's the truth, right? So what we're sitting here talking about today, about some stuff here, and you can go on that journey and that's fine, but I can guarantee you the conversation in 12 months' time, either I'm going to be looking, mate, I might be talking to your coffin, bro.
Nobody knows.
It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
nothing's promised except death.
That's right, mate, to be honest, and might be looking for you through a bit of glass, man. That's the truth. If we don't start entertaining these little problems that we have now and start working with them, the conversation is going to be definitely different in 12 months.
Do you feel like at this point of your life you fear death more than what you did before?
I do, man. I really do. And I'm a believer of God today. And it's the only thing I do struggle is because, the script's already written for me. I've got to stop stealing the pen. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? I've got to, But, mate, I want to be around a little longer, man. I'm enjoying my kids. I'm enjoying this life. I took it all for granted, man. What the fuck was I thinking? You know what I mean? Like, mate, life's okay today. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking okay. Like, and that's the truth. And I've got to, because I've got anxiety about health. I'm a hybrid contract, so I've got health anxieties.
Wow.
I have a sore toe, and here I am thinking I'm going to be dead, but it's because I'm so in love with the life I have today. And I don't want to let it go. But I mean, like I said, man, he's got the script written. I just got to stop stealing the pen, brother.
That's a good one.
I got to.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Do you fear death, Davey?
No. I think that's an interesting question, isn't it? Because it's something we can't control, right?
Yeah.
We're completely out of control with that. And I think one of the answers is to stay present, you know, and that's probably what you've been dealing with a lot in your life, right? The past traumas that follow you, the anxiety looking into the future, the fear of the future, and all those things that, you know, they're either in the past or they're in the future, right? And the best remedy is to stay present, you know, as much as you can, and that removes all the fear, right?
Yeah.
Because you're living for the now, and you're here and now, and
Yeah.
you know, you everything you do in the present reflects into the future.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do anything in the future. Doesn't
That's right.
exist.
That's right.
The future will exist when you get there in that present moment, but you have to do it first here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I can agree with you, man. Like fear looks like to me, so fear stands for fuck everything and run, or fuck everything and rise, you know, and today I've got to fuck everything and rise, or, you know, that's face everything and rise.
That's
you know?
right.
And he's right about the present stuff, you know, like if I start looking back into the past, I'll live that past. That's the truth. I start mate, you end up where you're heading. That's the truth. And if I'm going to end up there if I'm there. If I start turning around looking at the past, I'm going to fucking end up back in the past, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So presence, everything to me. I do a lot of present exercises. I do a lot of breathing, and I do a lot of that stuff to stay present, you know, because my head's fucking booger, man. It goes miles.
it reflects on what you said, right, about 1 hour at a time. You know,
Yeah,
like
man,
how you
some
got through
days,
those
yeah.
first
Yeah.
stages
Yeah,
1
man.
hour at a time,
Yeah,
right?
massive.
And that is really staying present, even but it's every second, every minute, right?
Yeah.
Very, very
Get through
true.
that hour, you know?
That hits hard and hits the core, because when you say live by the hour, I experienced that because I was in a position once where I was in hospital and I was living by the minute. Just survive the next minute.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to life and death, when you see someone go through life and death, all you want is that minute.
Yeah, that last one, hey.
You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
minute by minute.
Yeah,
but
man.
that minute doesn't bloody move sometimes. It's just
Yeah.
stuck there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like someone that's gone through a drug rehab and they're at home and they're cooking it. They need drugs.
Yeah.
That hour it turns into 2 weeks.
Yeah, oh yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah, like I feel like I'm 18 years clean, but I'm only 18 months. Like it's fucking like, yeah, man, I can really resonate with that, mate. Yeah? I really can, yeah.
The first few nights are crippling, huh?
Mate, yeah, look, I done my detox here. Yeah, so like I said, I could stop, but I couldn't stay stopped. And I would reward myself that's how insanity I was, okay? So, you know, like, and I'll be honest, and I'll tell you something, you know, like I would, if I was to have like a good sleep, wake up, have a couple of meals, you know, it might be a couple of days by this time, on the way to going to get, I would be vomiting, right? Okay, vomiting, I mean vomiting, power chucking. And as I was processing to go using, I would be vomiting until I got it into me. I'd have a little vomit and then I'd be okay. In my sick insanity head, I thought that's because I'm excited. Okay, yeah, I'm excited and I deserve one. How good's this? Mate, I think it was my body turned around saying, fuck me, not again. You know, like, oh, you're about to put me through the fucking rinser again. I didn't look at it like that. I looked like, nah, my body's excited. That's why I'm vomiting. That's why I'm pooing and I'm sweating because I'm excited. I wasn't excited, mate. I was nervous what I'm going to put the fucker through, you know? You know what I mean?
Wow,
Yeah,
man.
that's the truth, man.
That's intense.
It was intense, man. You know? Yeah, it was, man.
What
Yeah.
makes you happy these days? What excites you?
Mate, I'll tell you, it's just probably in the last couple months this has started to happen. But, mate, I'm excited to wake up every day. I don't know what today's going to offer me, man. It is amazing. You know, like,
Wow.
It is, man. Like, I'll be honest, that's what I've been finding myself. You know, like, what's tomorrow going to offer me? You know, I've been tonight, whatever, I'll go to bed, whatever. Sorry.
He's got excited.
I'm excited.
That's our vomit coming back up again. The vomit's back.
Muscle memory. And I would then, but I'm excited. What's tomorrow going to offer me, man? You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's the simple shit. I haven't, there's no, you know, like tomorrow's not an exciting day, but it's just exciting in my eyes, you know what I mean? Exciting today, you know, my kids, to see them obviously grow, awesome, you know. Just my new journey really excites me, you know. But I've got to take it slow.
Like a new chapter
New chapter, mate. Yeah, spot on.
that God has blessed you with.
He sure has, you know. He sure has, you know. Yeah, he has, man. He's given me another chance for something, and I need to make that something count. Yeah,
It's very important.
Yeah. He's given me another little crack, and I need to make that count because I should have been dead, but I promise you, I should have been dead. I'll tell you that straight now. I should have been dead. or I should have been doing some really, really long-term jail, you know, without, you know, saying too much. I should have been doing some big, big jail, man. I'm not for some odd reason, so I've got to give back, brother.
You feel like you owe now?
No, yeah, I got to. I've been taken for too long. No, that's the truth, man. I got to, man. I want my parents, I want my kids to spruik, brag, talk, remember their sober, clean dad, not their gangster, junkie, fucking, you know, opportunist father.
How putrid is that life?
It really is, man. But it was dressed in gold for me, you see. So as much as it was putrid, it was it was glittery, man. I had every girl I wanted. I had the fast cars. I had the fast cash in my bum bag. You know what I mean? I had the reputation in heavily addiction.
So it all goes away at the end.
It does, man. And well, you know, I was in it for a long time, and the wheels only really fell off for myself, unfortunately, for the last kind of year and a half. Yeah. But for all that, man, people just thought I was doing okay. You know, look at Joe, you know what I mean? Driving the C63s, like all that kind of stuff, man. I was fucking miserable. I was empty, man. I was isolating and empty, man. But I'm a good bluffer. Like I can sell fucking oil to the arrows, brother. You know, that was me. You know, like I could go in, lie, and just leave the room like, mate, he's doing well, isn't he? You know, get in the car on my own and use, go home and use, you know, on my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you start doing drugs on your own heavily, you're in a bad place. Very dangerous.
Yeah. They say that cross line, that line you cross, and I'm not too sure when I crossed that line, you know, because obviously at the start it was fun, ecstasies, the women, the boys. I would cap it Sunday. I would front up for work. I'd work. Then I started to flirt with work and drugs.
I love how you use that term, flirt.
Flirting and drugs at work. Okay, so, you know, what it looked like for myself was, all right, what it looked like for myself was, I'm fucked. I overstayed my welcome on a weekend. Okay, this is the first time, you know, I had a crack. We got excited, but I had to front up to a 1,500 square meter concrete slab, big day, and by this time in my addictions, early, I wasn't the bloke to let anybody down, so I'd front up. There was no fuck 'em, right? I'd have to front up. So I negotiated, man. I said to him, what do I want to do? If I keep on going, if I just use a little bit, all this stuff, negotiating, flirting with it, okay? And then I did. I had a little crack. You know, I had some ice before I went to work. Mate, I was pulling the screed. I was finishing. Yeah. Mate, everyone was like, on you, mate, how good's this? I was the rock star of the day, yeah? So I was the last man standing at the nightclub, you know, at the party. And then I was the rock star of the concreter. How good's this, yeah?
Yeah.
Best of both worlds, yeah? Time went on. But I promised myself, mind you, I swore, if you put me on a lie detector, I was fucking passing it. I would never do this again. It's only for this time, okay? So I'd done it. Weeks later, done it again. Overstayed my welcome. I started thinking, oh, fucking, you know, and this time I didn't have to negotiate too long. You know what I mean? A little bit, but my mind was made up. It worked last time. And then obviously fast forward it, then there was no negotiating. And then it was, like you said, powerless over it. I was using. So my weekends went from Thursday to Sunday. And, you know, to get up to work, I was just using, topping up. You know. Then I wasn't showing up for work, you know. Wow. And then I didn't have a job. And then I was out stealing.
Crime starts.
Yeah.
The cycle starts.
Crime was always there with the earning. I always worked. I always sold a bit of whatever on the side because that was the way I was instilled, the fast cash, you know.
It's a filthy world. It's a filthy world.
You want the extra, you go in.
Yeah.
You know?
So was it the drugs first and then selling afterwards, or were you...
Nah, mate.
Was it both at the same time? Or?
It's a bit of the same time, you know. Like my father sold speed and he gave it for me to sell, and that's what I done. I would have a little crack, but like my father always said to me, you know, don't be the fucking follower. You know what I mean? So I was allowed to do this stuff, you see. And it worked for me. In year 8, I was selling joints. My old man was growing dope, so I used to go pinch the buds and roll them up and sell them fucking on the oval because I didn't smoke cigarettes. I was boxing, but I was fit, yeah? So I was making a little fast cash like that, buying me Harrow, my mongoose to talk about, you know what I mean? All the grousey push bikes, you know what I mean?
It all catches up, bro.
Mate.
This is what people don't understand.
Exactly.
When you do wrong, it's like carbon monoxide.
Yeah,
you can't feel it, smell it, or see it. but it's there.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
And it's crawling at you.
Yeah.
You know, and over time, because you're feeding and hurting people, it's going to get you back.
Mate, 100%. That's right. And, you know, like, why did I need an extra pair of runners? Why didn't I need an extra push bike? Why didn't I need 2 dirt bikes? You know, I have one. You know what I mean? But that, give it to me, you know? So, Agreed. And validating. I want it to be fucking that air raid, man. You know what I mean? Like,
People love it, man.
fuck, man.
I hate it.
This is the thing. People validate it.
Yeah.
So it's like, so when you're doing it, you're not exactly, people aren't fucking calling you an idiot for it. They're actually like, oh, that's grouse. All the girls want you. So I'm going to keep on doing it. This is the problem with our youth today. You know what I mean? I've got a little cousin, man. She's so good looking, my little cousin. She's only 15, 16. And she's hanging around people that get in hotties and do ram raids. You know what I mean? Because it's exciting, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking truth, man.
It's like,
it is, mate.
It's like Michelle said, we are hardwired. Our brain leads more to negativity. We love it.
Especially in the northern suburbs, mate.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You know? And the western suburbs.
All these young juniors, it's so bad,
mate,
man.
It is. And
walk into a restaurant,
mate.
this is me, you know? But
and so I know as a young, being a young fella in the hood, and I wanted my little gang to make, we wanted our little gang to make it to the Whittlesea Post, okay? The Whittlesea Post was the local rag back then, yeah. And we done, you know, whatever. And I think we fucking rocked the train or we crafted whatever it was, and we made it. Well, like, mate, this is the grouse. These days, all they got to do is get on that Instagram and post themselves driving fucking through the tunnel, and they're on every single news clip.
Yeah.
That's validating to these kids.
yeah,
It's fucking so guess what? Then they've done it, right? So then the other crew are going to challenge them to that. So, let's just say the Broady boys done that, and now the Layla boys are going to do something bigger and better and post it. So they're on it. So this is the fucking, you know, who's got the biggest stick in the room kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And our media are doing it. See?
enabling it.
They don't know it. And I get it needs to be pressed and it sells a story. But, mate, the kids, that's what they want. Hence why they're fucking filming it, man. You know what I mean?
Especially this whole machete war thing.
We never got this stuff when we was a kid. Stuff was going on, but we're never on the fucking papers for it. It would have made us famous. We would have kept on doing it.
What was your experience with violence throughout those years? Looking at now, you know, the machete stuff that's going on. And...
In my area, there was stabbings flat out. There was. That was the truth. There was trolley poles. Well, there was stabbings. There was violence. There was a lot of violence. There was a lot of gangs in my area. Okay. There was violence, but there was that morally code as well. Okay. There was you would never go to someone's house. You know, old ladies. You'd still help them across the street.
Has it changed now?
Oh, it has
a lot.
It has, man. It has, you know. But you know, you still had your Middle Eastern gangs, you still had your African gangs, your Aussies, your Europeans. That was all a thing, and there was violence, man. There was.
But was there respect, like a level of respect between those, which there might not be as much today. With that,
there was, man, and it starts like this. So I remember my boxing gym. Okay, my boxing gym. I was young, but I seen it. So there was Hell's Angels, there was Banditos, there was detectives from and there was a judge, and there was a couple, and there was some old school bank robbers, you know. And it was an even playground. You left your patch at the gate, you left your ego at the gate, at the door, and whatever. So what that curated, and what I think we need to curate today is that's my challenge down the track, but is you create a safe place. So what that creates now is, all right, so, you know, 3 of us in a room, you're a so-and-so, you're this and I'm that. So, and you all box together, whatever, you leave, you go on your own journeys, and that's okay too, all right? So when you bump each other at shopping centres or on the streets or something like that, because we've trained together and we've got that mutual respect, as you know, coming from a boxing background, you know that respect. Yeah. You know that respect. You can't break that respect. It's very, very different, very, very rare.
100%.
So you kind of give them a nod. You don't need to shake hands. You stay in your lane. You go that way, you go that way. And that's how it was back then, because you had that respect at that hub, that safe place. You know, one member from every kind of crew would find themselves at your local boxing gym. And then it created that, you know, give them a nod and that'd be that. You didn't need to talk. You didn't need to be in each other's pockets. But it was that respect thing, like, then that's what boxing gyms back then created. That's the truth, bro. You know what I mean?
100%. Walking down the road, and you look at your left, and you see 18-year-old Joel. What do you tell him?
Oh, fuck. That's a hard journey. It's a rough road coming up, my man. Mate, I should have listened to my dad. I should have listened to my father. He told me if we had a whiteboard, he told me everything that was going to happen and more. And I fucking crossed everything on there, didn't I? He told me, mate, 1 or 2, you're the king of the zoo, with the drugs, 3 or 4 habits on your door. And I fucking, mate, he used to say to me, I've done the mistakes for you to not. And I would just say, wow, what would I say? Yeah, an 18-year-old Joel, I'd just say, listen, stop going in the journey you're going in. It's not a good journey. There is a different way. There is a different way you can seek validation. And you should have stayed that little boy with glasses, bro. It's like I used to, that was my main fear of going back to that little boy with glasses, bro, that everyone kind of picked on. I should have stayed there. You know what I mean? I should have just stayed there and not kind of built this ego and built these walls and hatred and anger, because I'm kind of back to that little boy with glasses, just now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I am.
Pretty much.
Obviously 20 years later, but I should have listened to my old man, to be honest. Yeah.
Crazy.
All them things on the whiteboard, I crossed them off, 100%.
It's very important if you have a good relationship with parents, I highly suggest it's very, very important to listen to them. Because they're older, they've experienced, they've gone through it.
Yeah, that's right.
If your father tells you be at home at 9, after 9, it's the devil's time, you best believe that. Because it is true.
Yeah, that's right.
All the crime, all the wrongs happen at that time, man.
Man, you do, man. And yeah, man, I had a dad. Yeah, my dad was, mate, this is going to happen if you do it. And he just kind of like let me, he'd kind of, and say, told you so, kid, But, on the same token, my grandfather done some hefty jail. My dad did some hefty jail, and then I'd done it, when he said that. And I remember my first sentence coming up. I was very, very young, very scared, and he turned around and said, sorry, mate, my grandfather turned around, and he was about 60 at the time. He goes, I done it, your dad done it, now go do it like a man. Mate, and they pulled me out in cuffs, man, and I was just, fuck, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that answer. I was hoping you could ship me off overseas and we can, I don't want to do that. I remember being in the backyard, man, and the Jacks were there and I was getting locked up, man. And my grandfather turned around and said that to me, I've done it. Your dad's done it. Now go do it like a man. Mate, fucking hell. What's doing it like a man look like, Doing it like a man. So that was like, all right, well, this is me now. I've got to do this stuff, don't I?
Couple of advice you would give for people to start, or tools to begin their journey. Someone out there that's watching now, that's sitting behind, the screen watching us, fighting an addiction, a serious addiction. What do you tell them?
Wave that white flag, bro. Surrender, brother. Yeah. Fuck, the day I surrendered, I started my journey to getting well. Fucking surrender, bro. It's not a sign of weakness. It's just not. I'm telling you now, it is not, man. I've got no surrender written on the back of my neck. No. You know what I mean? No surrender. I've got it here today, man.
Just get
I don't surrender.
Just get no removed.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I said that. Wow. I've got to surrender, man. Wave that white flag. It's the only way, I promise you. I've tried not to. I've tried to do this program shortcutting. I have.
Do you have a website for this program?
Sorry, brother?
Do you have like a program, like a website for the program? That
so what I do today,
can we open it up? Is it on your page on Instagram or?
So today what it looks like, so my program, so obviously I do the 12-step program, which is anybody can do. But today I do the Not Today Derek program. Okay, so a good bloke, Wade Hopper.
Yeah.
Wade Hopper.
Good
spot
man.
on, matey.
Good man.
He introduced me to a program called Not Today Derek. Okay. Yeah, so you got.
Oh no, I think it's on Instagram. Yeah.
Insta, yeah. Not today, Derek. The Derek's what we've been talking about this whole pod. The blackbird, the devil.
Yeah.
But Derek stands for. Sorry about that again.
That's all right.
You know, don't even realise ego kills.
Yeah.
So don't even realise ego kills. That's what Derek stands for. You know what I mean? So he's created this program today, and I put it into my life. So does my missus with the washing. So does everything. You know, I just say if I'm driving through these certain areas, it's not today, Derek. You know, don't be Derek. You know, get through the next bit. You know, and it really, really helps me today. You know?
Because the soul is a very interesting one, man. The soul. If you can Google up, open it up for me, Davey. Right, Imam Ghazali, and write dog and pig. This will trip you out, man.
Yeah.
He believes that the soul is split into two categories: the dog and the pig. That the human, the soul of the human has both these characters:
Yep.
the pig and the dog. For example, look at the dog. The devil. It's aggressive.
Yep.
It can betray you.
Yep.
What about the pig? Greedy.
Yeah.
Filthy.
Yeah.
Lust.
Yeah.
Desires.
Lust, yeah.
So if you think about it, and if you don't maintain both of them, they overpower you and you become the beast.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's actually insane. Yeah, see, the dog soul.
Yeah, unreal.
Angry part of the soul. The dog can be loyal and a good guard dog when trained. And then it can become destructive, uncontrollable.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And then this was the pigs on the top is linked to desire. Desire for food, possession,
Yes.
physical pleasures.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't overcome them, you become the beast and you become lost. You become
do, man.
an animal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And it says here, the teachings emphasize gaining control over these lower natures through self-training and spiritual discipline to cultivate the higher, more rational and divine aspects of the self.
Yeah. It's very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting term in it. You know, you put that into if you implement that into your life.
The soul, man.
You know.
I'm telling you, you got to master the soul. Be grateful. Like sitting down here listening to you, I've understood how grateful you are just for little things.
Yeah.
Little things, man. Like you get into your car and you're going through 100 things. I get in my car and I just drive and I'm thinking, what am I going to do when I get home? What am I going to eat?
Yeah.
But someone else
Yeah.
is going through a war.
Yeah, they are, man. It is
Like
a
that
daily
guy that was
battle.
driving up your ass.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Could've
It is
got
a
out of
daily battle.
Yeah.
And those, like I said, them brothers and sisters that are watching that struggle addiction, man, I get it, man. Mate, it's sometimes you just throw your hands up and think, why not use? You know, like, it's hard to do the right thing. Yeah, you know how easy it is to do the wrong thing? Like, is that fucking cooked?
That's
You know,
crazy.
It's so hard to do the right thing. And that is the fucking truth. Like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to lie, cheat, do the wrong thing because it's, I mean, look, when you do the right thing, you've set a bar, you've set a precedent, and it's a very hard bar to maintain. Now, if you drop that bar, you got everyone going, what's really going on with you? You got all these eyes and these people that are, looking at you going, well, why are you failing? And he said, when you're just a failure, mate, there's no fucking pressure. You're just a failure. You know what I mean? Isn't it right?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean, don't you? It's easy to fail because everyone's, yes, sweet, just ride you off. When you fucking got expectations of being 1, 2, 3, mate, and you have a rough day at the office, and someone notices, or everyone notices, that's so wearing to do the right thing,
It is because in my religion, it teaches that the soul is actually, it leans more towards the bad. So we observe and love the bad more. That's why bad is so easy to do. Like you said,
it is, man. It is.
It's so easy to do crime.
It's
so
right.
easy to cheat.
That's right.
It's so easy to have sex with multiple women.
Yes.
But that hurts the soul, man. It hurts the soul.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, that's right, man.
I always speak with my man Davey over here, and I admire and I say, his wife is overseas and he's still loyal.
Yeah. That's that stuff, you're doing the right thing when no one's watching. You know what I mean? It's so fucking hard to do. It's very, very hard to do. And then you got to do the right thing and not tell no one. You know how hard that bit is to do? You know what I mean? Because I get ego.
Yeah.
I want to I want to do the right thing, but then I also want the pats on the back for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to go tell people.
What's the word for that, would you say?
Validating.
Validating,
Right?
yeah.
You know, they say you should walk past the parking meter and just tap. Just give them an hour, 2 hours, yeah? But don't go tell no one, because then you've done it for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? Because that's bad. That's
hell.
honestly, that's bad. That's bad stuff, bro. Because why'd you really do that? You know what I mean? Like, why did you really help that person on his road? Because you know maybe they've got something you wanted. You know, stuff. You got to really catch yourself out on that stuff, bro.
Some ill intent at the end of
You
it.
got to really
intention.
catch yourself out of that stuff. Because
Help in secrecy.
yeah, mate, why are you really doing that and why are you really helping? I have to ask myself that stuff on the daily. You know what I'm trying to say? Why am I, even with having a platform on Instagram, you know, I'm doing it for, but sometimes, like I said, and I've got to catch myself out here. I have a beautiful missus at home, brother, with a beautiful daughter that I'm obsessed with. But yes, some days are really, and there's some pretty girls, they're vulnerable. And they're reaching out to me because they loved what I'm doing. So already I've got the power over them because I'm clean, I'm sober, and I'm carrying the message. You know, they're broken, they're vulnerable. You know, the conversation can go from recovery, drug stuff, me giving advice, to tattoos, to cars, to long walks on the beach. Why is it going there? So I've got to really, really, really go, and I've got to fucking pull that stuff. But yes, guilty of all charge. The conversations go there quickly. And I've got to set them boundaries.
That's the devil working hard.
And then I've got to tell myself, I've got to say to my missus, I've got to show her. I have to be, brother.
Be honest
because
with
if I don't, well, I'm going to do it the next day. You know, and then secrets keep you sick kind of stuff. And, mate, I'll start doing that. And then I'll go meet up with a girl. And guess what? She'll be a couple of days clean, whatever it is. Very, very good sort. And who's to say I'm not going to get on? And then fucking boom, boom, boom. Mate, that's the truth, bro.
Yeah. It's your awareness, right?
Yeah,
you have
got
to,
it, man.
You have
Yeah.
to remain aware of
I wear every day on everything.
that you're, every decision you're making every day.
Yes,
right? And the reason behind it and all these things that you said, you know. But
Yeah, there's aware and there's suspicious. And I used to be suspicious on everything and everybody. And now I'm just aware, you know.
Very powerful, man.
Yeah, just aware now, man. You know, I got to watch what I'm doing and I got to watch what other people are doing. And not in a bad way. I just kind of, you know, boundaries, everything. Yeah, I had no boundaries.
Shout out to all the brothers and sisters that are fighting wars, the silent wars.
Yeah,
The silent wars that nobody knows about.
Yeah,
I hope you know, step out of that darkness, the abyss, and find peace and love and tranquility and religion and belief. And start fighting the war against drugs and alcohol and women, man.
Yeah. And just wave that white flag and surrender, man. Because
shout out to you, my love to you guys, and brother Joel over here. You're doing an incredible job, man.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Powerful job.
Yeah, thank you.
For anyone that's listeners out there, reach out to Joel. What's his Instagram? Do you want to open up his Instagram?
Yeah, it's got Jolly B.
Reach out to the brother. He's got
with a Y like that, Jolly.
Jolly, with a B-E-E with an underscore somewhere. Yeah, Jolly B.
That's it. Yep. Oh, look at that fried chicken comes up.
Yeah, so it's Jolly to underscore B. Yeah.
That's it. Is that it?
No.
It's with a Y. Yeah.
Put an underscore in there.
Spell it to me again, sorry.
Joel
Oh, yeah. I put J-O-E-L.
with a Y
Right.
underscore B.
There you go.
Just be on its own or be
B-E-E, sorry, brother. Yeah.
Shout out to the brother. You're doing an incredible job, man.
Yeah.
Incredible. You pumping the gym as well?
I am, mate. That's obviously something I've found in recovery.
There
yes,
it is. That's the brother.
Yeah, that's you there, mate. Yeah. So
Hit him up. Any, you know, for the people that are fighting wars, mate, hit him up. Reach out to him, reach out to myself, and just know that we're here.
Yeah, there's definitely a better way, you know, and this is it. So
Final message to the listeners, to the people that are out there. You got anything you'd love to share with them?
Mate, just you know, the question how, like I said, how do you stop? How do you do it? It's getting honest, open-mindedness, having an open mind, and then being willing to go get it. So that's the question. The $1 million question is how. Is break it down. Is HOW, man. Honest, open-mindedness, and willingness. You know.
Oh, you're an absolute man.
On your brother.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much, and for giving me your time.
Thank you, my brother.
Thanks, pleasure,
my
Enjoy, brother. Thank you,
You're
my
an
brother.
absolute champion.
Thank you,
Thank you,
mate.
brother. Thank you.
Bro, you humbled me hard.
See, cunt.
Put all the bullshit aside.
That was great.